In the previous episode, Galder and his team managed to reach the bridge of Siltire on their way over to the swamp, in the hopes of reaching the northern city of Milne fast and undetected. When they had crossed the bridge, however, they were immediately halted by a knight, surrounded by an ominous atmosphere. The knight introduced himself as Sir Edgar, also known by the name The Nightmare. Welcome everyone to AI Dungeon Chapter 3, where we will finally confront Edgar and see what fate is in store for Galder and his crew. What you see on your screen now is the fan art of Galder that my brother made, and you can find his comics as well as other artistic creations on his Patreon or Instagram, which is shown on this screen now. Make sure to go check him out because he's doing a great job, and I'm really grateful for the really cool portrait of Galder that he made. And without any further ado, let's head into Chapter 3. Hello guys, and welcome back to an AI Dungeon adventure. Now we're on Chapter 3, and I'm really looking forward to see more of this Sir Edgar Knight. I also really wonder what happened to Hans. So the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is just write go to the ledge and check on Hans, just to make sure that Hans is safe. That's our first priority right now. He stands, shaking off the water. He stares at the nightmare who lost cruelly. Okay, I'm gonna retry that. Okay, you see Hans floating in the water, desperately grabbing at rocks for balance. You could quickly run to him and hold his hand, but he's already beginning to sink beneath the dark waters. Oh shit. No. Grab his hand and pull him up with all my weight. I just gotta get a good grip on Hans's hand and just pull him up. With all your strength, you pull Hans up. He wheezes as he grabs the ledge. I thank you, he gasps, grabbing his side. Are you okay? Yes. We need to deal with this Sir Edgar guy. Are you in any condition to fight? I'm gonna ask him because I don't know, he may be injured. Maybe he broke his leg or something. I won't be if we don't get off this ledge. No, we're not on the ledge. We're in the water that's over the ledge. Okay, so yeah, it's okay. I won't be if we don't get off this ledge. True. Let's say that he's on like a waterfall. So he was almost like getting like all the, you know, the stream from the waterfall almost pulled him into the water, but I managed to grab him off the ledge. So let's pretend it's a bit more cooler than just him almost drowning in a lake. I won't be if we don't get off this ledge. True. Malak hurries over to the nightmare and picks up his sword. I really like that the AI acknowledges that Malak is still in the fight. That's not typical of the AI to do, but yeah, I really appreciate the AI remembering Malak. Yes, okay. So Hans seems like he's alright. He just almost fell off the ledge and into a huge river. But we managed to pull him up and get him on his legs. Yeah. Go with Hans take Hans to the side and meet up with Malak to fight Edgar. So Hans can rest, at least for some minutes, to just, you know, breathe. As you approach the nightmare, he looks up at you, then goes back to eating. What the? Oh my god. The nightmare stands and grins. Where do you think you're going? The nightmare swings his sword, which catches Malek's shield. I don't think Malek has a shield, but I can remove it and I can replace it with spell. Okay, let the AI do its thing. By fuck, Hans! Screams, instantly freezing in place. What? Okay, I know. I need to what a weird thing to say. I think we need to get out of here. And I'm telling you, you're not going anywhere. You see Hans not in agreement. Okay, let's help the AI out here. Pull out my sword and help Malek fight off the nightmare. You pull out your sword and help Malek fight off the nightmare. You stare at the nightmare and you know in your heart that he's no mere man. The nightmare laughs and the sound brings chills. Yeah, okay. So he's a really powerful man. He's brute force and strength. Swing at him. You swing at him. You swing at the nightmare, but he easily catches your blade. You struggle against his grip, but it is no use. He brings his sword down onto your head. Malek! Oh. You quickly turn to Malek, but he is already gone. She is already gone. You look around and then hear the sound of metal clinking. He's just about to execute me, right on the spot. You look over and see Malek pulling out a flask and drinking. You gasp. It's the only way, Warden. She says, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna retry that one. You look back and see the nightmare laying on the ground, mortally wounded. Wait. What? Nah. Okay, come on, man. It's got... what? Okay, I'm gonna retry. But it easily catches your blade. Okay, and I'm gonna remove Malek. So I'm just gonna keep the execution part, and I'm gonna see what I can do to save myself here. You feel the cold steel of the sword through your skull and into your brain. Oh my god. Okay. I'm not dying now, guys. This is not it. Okay, it seems like the AI only want to kill me off, so I'm gonna say, you know what? Let's give him his own medicine. I'm gonna grab his blade. So while he catches my blade in his hand, and I try to yank it out, I'm gonna grab his sword. So we just stand there like two idiots. You grab the nightmare's blade as he attempts to swing it, and he pulls the two of you into a mighty battle. Oh. Oh. Like fist fighting? Because both our swords are... we just grab each other's swords all the time, so maybe we're just kicking each other and punching each other. So now it's a duel between me and Sir Edgar. You feel the sword slice through your body, sending you hurtling through the air as you crash into the ground. You let out a yell as his grip tightens around your throat. Holy shit, he sliced through my body. Like, if it's not a mortal wound, I think I'll let it stay. because I'm obviously I'll retry it if the AI tries to kill me like previously. But injures are acceptable, you know. I'm not Galder is not perfect, you know. So but I'm not like ready to kill him off yet or anything. That would be kind of early. Dies in chapter 3 and Hans Hans becomes the next main character. Nah, man. Okay. While Galder is on the ground, I'm gonna add something to the story here. He's on the ground, wounded. Hans and Malak helps him fend off, or help starts to attack Sir Edgar. Who manages to get out of the way, but slips and falls off the ledge. Oh, okay, now they are separating the Nightmare and Edgar, so it seems like the AI wants me to call him the Nightmare. Hans is first. He runs at Sir Edgar, swinging his axe. Sir Edgar raises his hand and sends the young man flying into the wall. We're in the middle of a swamp forest, so into a tree is more fitting. Wow, Sir Edgar is crushing us. Malak follows, firing bolts from his crossbow. Okay, Malak is a girl and she don't use a crossbow, so I'll have to say firing flame spells from her hands. But Sir Edgar dodges them easily. He follows up by summoning forth a fire. She follows up by summoning forth a fireball, which is... Oh no, okay. Okay, Sir Edgar summons a fireball. This dude can do magic too. Wow, wow. This guy's really, really bad business. He follows up by summoning forth a fireball, which he throws in Malak's direction, engulfing the mage in flames. I'm gonna remove that part because that's a bit too heavy. Which he throws in Malak's direction. The young witch rolls out of the way, letting the spell hit a tree instead. The tree begins to burn as Malak stands up and runs at Sir Edgar once more. Wow. Cool Malak moment there. Okay. You get up and cover the wound with your left hand and manage to barely stand. You are bleeding, but not too much. So you rush in and lands a blow on Edgar. I'm standing there like bleeding from my wound on the left side of my abdomen, and it's like the blood is flowing beneath, like in between my fingers, but I still manage to stand barely and walk over to him and land a blow. As you stand, you manage to grab Edgar's wrist and strike a powerful blow onto his head with your fist. Oh. I'm punching him in the face, man. The impact causes him to let go of his sword, which you snatch up. Oh, okay. Put my blade next to his throat and make him and look at him menacing. Menacingly. Who's evil now, you say, your voice gravely and uneven due to your wounded throat. Edgar looks at you with both fear and hatred. Malik, tie him up. This guy is not free, is not allowed to roam free anymore. So we're not gonna kill him. We're gonna take him with us. Tying up Sir Edgar. Malik nods and goes over to you, tying up Sir Edgar. We need to get out of here. This place is going to be hell to clean up. Help Hans back on his feet, and we all rush into the swamp while the moonlight lights up the darkness. Some atmospherical poetry right there. Swearing under your breath, you rush into the swamp, your party alongside you. The demonologist and his assistant are still in no condition to... Okay, what? I'm gonna edit that out. And I'm gonna write... after fleeing into the swamp, we managed to find a safe spot and camp for the night. A new camping scene, boys. Yeah. Okay, so now we can take a breather and calm down a bit. Clean my wound and shit. Okay, I'm gonna retry that on. All of you are exhausted, so you all go to sleep. In the middle of the night, you are awoken by a horrific scream and sit up in shock. Okay. Your eyes scan the blackness. You just make out the shadowy figures of the others sleeping. Hans is already up as he stands next to you. Did you hear that? He asks nervously. What? Hear what? You ask, before you hear it again. The sound of a man, woman, and child screaming in terror. Now I hear it too. Okay, so let's describe the scenario. We're in the swamp. It's pitch black around us, and we've made a campfire which almost burned out. So it's extremely little light and almost no way to see around us. And our tents are set up, and we just awoke at like 3 a.m. in the night by a scream. Now I hear it too, you say. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Hans asks. You stand and pick up your sword. The howling noise of 1,000 wolves is now heard, and you swear as you recognize it. Fuck. We need to go. Wake up, Malik. And I'll wake up Sir Edgar. I like imagine Sir Edgar being tied up to a tree or something. So he's still with us. He's just like not in a tent. He's still tied up a bit away from us, so he can't get to us. Malak wakes up instantly as you go to wake up Edgar. You shake his shoulder gently and he sits up, groggily awake. What is it? He asks as you point upwards. Wolves. I'm still keeping your hands tied, but we need to go. Come with us if you don't want to get eaten. He nods as Malak also wakes up, grabbing his sword. Grabbing her. Malak is a girl. Oh. Grabbing her sword. Right, let's go. You all begin to run and struggle through the swamps, heading away from the sounds of the beasts. We are starting to get close to the path of Arkatras. Arkatras is like a mountain pass in this world that's... I'm making this up right now. So it's not that lore heavy. But I'm gonna imagine that Arkatras is a mountain pass that is at the edge of the swamp and at the edge of the mountains in the north. So because we are traveling north. So we're starting to get closer to the mountains and the snowy landscapes. And that's also where we may hear the wolves come from. Because, you know, wolves are creatures that enjoy cold atmospheres. We are going up the mountains. With Hans leading the way, you all struggle to find a way through the hills. It takes about half an hour of struggling through mud and snow, but you eventually see a light at the end of the tunnel. Because the path of Arkatras is like a deep tunnel that goes into the mountains, and eventually you come outside and you can see like an overwatch of all the mountain tops. After going straight upwards for half an hour though. It's a clearing. We are at the top of Arkatras. I think we should be safe here. But the cold will eventually take us. Yes, the gods have delivered us from the cold, Hans says. You all struggled through the snow and ice to reach the clearing. Wow, the AI is really descriptive now, and doing a good job. The moonlight shines on you, revealing the path forward. You are above the village of Arkatra, more particularly the Temple of Dorna. There. The village of Arkatra. It's... While we are still above the village, I imagine that it's like a 5-6 hour walk until we've managed to arrive. So yeah, we can see Arkatra, but that doesn't mean it's close to us. So I'm gonna write there, the village of Arkatra. It's still a 5-hour walk. But if we are quick, we might make it in time. like the top of Arkatras is so cold. You have no idea. Like 30 degrees almost Celsius. Yes, we are safe as long as we stay in the mountains, but once we descend, then we are fair game for their swords and retry. All of you look at each other, and it's clear that nobody is going to back down. You turn to Hans as he looks up at you, smiling. This will be hard. There will be lots of snow and cold weather, but bite through. Once we reach Arkatra, we will be safe. I gotta calm them down a bit. You know, Hans is really anxious. You nod as you all begin to dig furiously through the snow. It takes about an hour of digging and cutting through the ice to finally break through. Oh, so the clearing, like the top of Arkatras, is almost covered by snow and ice. You know, it's yeah. No one lives at that type of height. So it's really it's a really abandoned wasteland, covered by snow and ice. Okay, I'm just gonna let the AI continue. A tunnel has been carved, the entrance about 5 feet high and 8 feet wide. You walk in, looking around at the perfectly cut tunnel sides. Let's go. We need to dig more. 4 hours left. What did I say? Yeah, 5-hour walk, and we need to dig through the snow too. The workers? No, there's no workers here. 4 hours left. Oh, multiple choice. You walk down the tunnel as you can't help but notice that it's slightly warmer than the rest of the cave. No, fuck that. We just dug out a tunnel that we can get through with ease, Malik says. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna undo this. They really focus on the tunnel part, and I'm more focused on the snow and mountain part. Okay, so let's continue from here. You all crawl out of the hole, collapsing in a heap, and look at where you are. The wasteland around us is completely covered with snow, and Arkatra is still 4 hours away. The journey will be hard. You think for a second. You will be pitch black by the time you are there. It is 2 a.m. right now. Oh, okay, 2 a.m. And that beast could be anywhere. It could even be all the way in the village. Okay. Then again, you only have 4 Horixes. What the fuck is a Horix? We start walking through the heavy snow. And gets closer to Arkatra. But the snow and icy wind makes us exhausted. You see Hans. He points at something in the distance. Look, it's a village. It's the village. You look and see a faint light in the distance, but you are exhausted. Oh, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. You decide to rest. The others have chosen a village to... what? Okay. Retry. It takes nearly 15 minutes for you to get up and begin walking towards the village. The snow and wind are huge. As you struggle to move forward, you all see a figure heading straight towards you. Oh, a new challenger approaches here in the mountains. Give us a break. You can only be described as a giant, covered in hair with 2 heads growing from his shoulders. He's looking for you. You know it. Hunt. Okay, we are exhausted. I'm still injured. Like, not mortally, but I'm still... Like, the wound has kind of closed, but I'm still not in the best shape. Hans have been through so much. Malak is still pretty new to spells, and Sir Edgar isn't allowed to fight. So, I suggest we play this really, really stealthy. We are in no condition to fight, so we hide and hear the giant walk past us slowly. Oh fuck, I misspelled slowly. Swolvy. You hide behind some boulders as the demon passes. It's not going to work, it's too fast. We need a plan. You continue to look at the gigantic beast. I'm gonna retry that one. First I'm gonna just edit because that was stupid. Slowly. There we go. Okay. You keep quiet and listen as the giant passes by, sniffing the air. It stops, and although you are completely still, the giant turns to look at your position. Shit. What are... Why not? Why not? We're pretty close to the village now, so we can make it. You sprint away as fast as you can, the demon bellowing a roar. Hans sprints after you. The demon charges after you for what seems like forever. You run into a cave to await its fiery wrath. Okay. I have some story, I have some story details planned. So this part I'm gonna add to the story because this is something I have, yeah. This is something I prepared for. Not like this scenario would happen, but this is the perfect time to introduce something that I've been planning for, yeah, for a little while. In the cave, the giant, you hide with your party in the cave, and the giant walks by. Yeah. It seems he lost track of you. You catch your breath and look at Hans and Malak. And suddenly you hear a voice from inside the cave say, "Hello?" I look at Hans, at Malak, and then at the cave entrance. "Hello," the voice says again. From the dark cave emerges a woman in royal clothing, escorted by a tall knight with green armor and cape. You there, dear to my heart, come closer so I can see you better. You approach as the woman approaches. She smiles warmly. That's okay. I guess you there, come closer so I can see you better is like her way of saying who's there in a like royal etiquette. Who are you? I may just change the AI's answer right away because I have. No, okay. I'm Lena, and you are Galder, Lena. She smiles. A pleasure to meet you, Galder. I hope you are well. Lena is explains to you. No. What are you doing in this giant demon's cave? Waiting for my dear. Okay, I'm gonna undo that. The knight answers. I am Sir Vincent, the escort of the only heir to the county of Red Valley, Lena. Heiress. Okay, so the characters I have planned for this, the characters I'm introducing now is an heiress to a county called Red Valley. The daughter of like a noble count who's been abducted by this giant demon and is inside this cave and been here for some days, and she's escorted by a knight called Sir Vincent. And so these are two characters I've been wanting to introduce, and I felt this was the perfect spot to introduce them in. So that's why I'm adding so many details so suddenly. Yeah. We were abducted by that foul creature. You know, they are both royalty, especially Lena, and Vincent is also of noble birth, so they are speaking in a really, yeah, royal manner. And have been trapped here for days, but it seems you and your party have led the beast astray. You have our thanks. Okay. But we must depart. It was very nice meeting you, Galda. Please, my thanks are not for nothing. We also need to get out of here. We need to reach the city of... What was the city called again? Arkatras. Arkatras. You mind joining us there? We'll leave this place at once, Skald. You look at your companions and nod. Then you turn and lead the way as you follow the knight into the darkness of the cave. Oh, so the cave may be a shortcut. Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave this episode here. The AI did good work today. It didn't make me exhausted like last time, with all its, with leading me off track now and then. Now it was kind of on point for the most part. I still miss a physical description of both Vincent, Lena, and Edgar, but I can create that the next chapter. But I really like the way the journey went right now. I can go ahead and say that I did create the third chapter some hours ago, but it was such a disaster that I chose to undo everything until I came to the end of chapter 2 again. So this is like a chapter 3 remastered. This was way better than the other crap that I tried to make. And I'm not blaming myself. The AI was just completely off track, and it was almost comedical more than epic, you know. But this episode turned out really good, and I think we're on a really nice point in our journey now. We're starting to get closer to Arkatras, and we're in the northern region, so I don't think we're too far away from Milne either, the city where Garrett is located. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I enjoy making this for you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.